Listen. So for those who are missing movie theaters as much as I am, it's cool to see independent cinema pull through and try to help out theaters. This movie, along with a bunch of others, are available for VOD purchases from a bunch of digital retailers, but a lot of theaters are also hosting virtual screenings, which is pretty much the independent studios being cool enough to offer a way to go 50-50 while everything's shut down, and it's a way to support theaters. Because as you know, Universal's out there trolling. So what better quarantine movie than the one about the ultimate self-isolating community? Let me explain. So we had just covered Vivarium and the worries of moving into your own place along with all the societal norms that come with it, and the anxieties continue here. This is a super indie, written, directed, edited, and lived by David Marmor.
The genesis of it really was my own personal experiences when I moved to Los Angeles in my 20s.
It was shot in like 15 days. They had lost their production truck while filming. Their location was a running complex that had people going in and out while they were doing their stuff. And on top of that, they lost their lead 3 days before filming.
This other person we had was a lot more fussy, was asking us if she could leave early, like already to go learn stick fighting or something. And we were like, no, we're shooting for 15 days. You need to stay here. You need to be with us.
That said, with the studio pick out, David got to cast his first pick.
The night she arrived, I think she still had her suitcase with her, and we just sort of met and said, hi, hi, I'm Dave, hi, I'm Nicole, and got to know each other a little. And then I think the next day we had about a half day. It's the way these things go, and this is always the way with independent film. You don't get what you want, and you have to make do with what you get.
So full spoilers. We follow Sarah, who moves into the second floor of an LA apartment complex by herself.
Any pets?
No.
Kinda. It may be a one bedroom, but everyone's chilling outside this place. It's like a little community where they all get along and take care of each other. They've invited her to a party. One of the neighbors starts trying to hit on her before actually putting a hit on her.
Please, Lester, please don't do this.
Dude tries to go all American Psycho, but luckily Sarah snaps her IKEA chair and gets away, but just doesn't get out.
She's not going anywhere.
It's crazy when you think about that she left her overbearing, controlling father only to end up in a cult. In their mind, they're trying to pitch this as a community, They even share a book talking about the benefits, which I'm not denying, it makes sense. In the olden days, you pooped out a dozen kids to help you out on the farm, and the next thing you know, you have your own little league. But this is a cult.
Crazy is throwing away your only family for a selfish fantasy. Jerry knows exactly how to fix bad conditioning.
One, I've binged enough TV to know you never trusted Jerry. And two, the only conditioning my landlord should be focusing on is the AC. The moment they strip you of choice, it's over. And if they lay hands, save that nail for the coffin.
You have to remember what it's like out there. Everybody in their own separate world, on their little devices, obsessed with themselves.
This community somehow deems who's worthy or broken enough to be with them. And in Sarah's case, her leaving her family to pursue her dreams in LA is worthy of torture. Helping her.
It's for your own good. Someday you'll understand.
They start by observing all her social media and start changing her life by cutting all ties. They set up sound waves like the sound of silence in order for her place to give her headaches, thus ruining her sleeping schedule and making it terrible for her at work. They threaten her because of her cat. Pretty much it's everything from the Kushner handbook. And while there are TED Talks on the foundations to community, obviously they're not to this degree. I hope. Their goal of breaking down someone till those habits turn them into the person they're supposed to be stems from this book by Charles Ellerby, which, considering the ending of all the properties being owned by this man's company, I would love to see a prequel with an even bigger budget breaking this down. Their 4 foundations are 1, selflessness, and 2, openness.
We don't keep secrets, so tell us about your first sexual experience.
And then 3, acceptance, and 4, security, with surveillance easily being a job that's going to employ a lot of people. Like, half the things I watch have main characters already doing that as their main job. On top of that, they also act like the Harga. They punish each other, and then like the Purge move on like nothing ever happened. They brand themselves. They let go of those that can no longer help the community, which I disagree with. Grandma Esther doesn't have to be out on the field, but she can Barbara Gordon it from home. This and the cat in the oven are probably the biggest complaints I think audiences are going to have with the film. Yet, these guys deem who can go out into the cruel, cruel world.
We have the technology to change our nature. We've had it for decades. Thorndike, Watson, Pavlov, Skinner. All we've lacked is an understanding of what to change to. Until now.
There are influences from Polanski, especially with The Tenant. There's a little bit of Rosemary in there, Repulsion, obviously the Bible. Because when they nail her in, you know from then on, she's never going to be bad at this game ever again. So she yanks her hands and graduates. Didn't let her know that her purpose is to fill the void of Lester the molester's dead wife.
Y'all are gonna make a great couple. Great parents.
And since they want him to be her new daddy, she has to turn her old one away.
The next time I want to see you is at your funeral.
Obviously, we know that Sarah's a pushover. Like she's an architect with no building blocks to success.
Clock out first. We can't pay overtime on this. Okay?
Sure.
But while her arc has her building up confidence, her ex-coworker Lisa is the complete opposite, and it's her return in the second half of the movie that I don't really buy. After the cult pushed Lisa away from Sarah and almost got her fired, they were completely done.
You want me out of your business? Stay the fuck out of mine, you two-faced crazy ass bitch.
But I guess the rent was too damn high, and it was very cheap here because she then applies to move in there as well. Honestly, story-wise, it feels like her resilient spirit is there to just help Sarah escape. Like, it's just for her to learn her lesson and gain the self-confidence. But in reality, I think a character like Lisa would have and should have lived. Through a crazy turn of events in the last 15 minutes, she's able to escape by sticking it to Jerry, shoots Bad Luck Brian, the cult that used violent tactics to get their way, are appalled Sarah's doing the same to get her way, and Lester pulls a Hodor in order to help her escape by shooting himself before she's even gone.
Having read the script, I knew it was going to be intense, but David and I were fortunate to have some time together before we started shooting. Limited.
Overall, I think it's a decent thriller to stream. I can definitely see the concept redone with an even bigger budget so it can be properly fleshed out, but at the end of the day, it has me curious to see what Marmor and Nicole Bloom do next, so if anything, it's successful in putting them on my radar. In the end, it's a reminder that group mentality can make people do foolish things. Check out The Sound of Silence because it's a really good movie. Check the terms of your lease and take control of your life like Sarah, who finally gains the confidence she needs to run away and escape the space in LA for the walk-in in New York. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, I think it's a fun thriller, and there are a lot of other virtual movies out. If anything, I definitely want to put those on the radar to see what you guys are checking out. I've been able to catch a bunch of them, and maybe I'll make a video covering several of them. Some of them I have covered in other festival vids, but I'm curious to know what other movies you're checking out. Again, I'd love to see a sequel on this Charles guy and see how deep the world goes with these properties and he's taking over. And they may even do a sequel that has him going super global.
I wish we could help them all. Someday.
But other than that, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Any other indies that you want to put on my radar, or any other movies that are just standing out to you, or even TV shows, let me know. Until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll send you an app for LME Lofts.